We gotta go!
You have so got to die.
My logic is undeniable. My logic is undeniable. My logic is undeniable.
2 weeks ago, Grok was a bad boy. This week's competition was less of a Wild Wild West, so I celebrated my Independence Day by declaring Grok an enemy of the state. Will Grok get jiggy with it this week? Or will I come out smelling like a fresh prince? Something Will Smith reference. In our season-long college football prediction competition, Grok and I have been battling back and forth to see which of us is the superior being. Somehow, despite having all of the data on the internet at its disposal and picking 4 out of 5 favorites, Grok only correctly predicted one winner last week, Ohio State over Washington. Still, because Grok kept it close to the betting lines, it ended up getting a lot of margin bonus points. As a result, Grok got 20 points. On the other hand, I correctly predicted 3 out of 5 winners, including the underdog Oregon Ducks against Penn State. You know, it's kind of funny. I was watching the game with my brother and telling him all about the legend of Big Game James Franklin. And near the end of the fourth quarter, when Penn State was driving, I said, I don't think they're going to go for 2. I think they're going to settle for 1, and then they're going to lose in overtime. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. So I'm sorry, Penn State fans, but the legend continues. That game alone netted me 17 points, and I was super close in predicting the final margins for the Ole Miss and Ohio State games. But all in all, I crushed Grok, getting 43 points in total.
Yeah, boy.
Looking at things over the course of the season, this past week I reopened up my lead against Grok after last week's loss. So I'm now up by
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
42 points over Grok. And this past week we were both less than 5 points on average off from the betting lines, but as you know, I got 3 out of 5 correct, and Grok only got 1 out of 5 correct, at least in terms of the winners. So even though I'm using the average distance from the betting lines as an interesting metric, I think there will be weeks like this past week where the margin is just so thin that it's kind of a coin toss. In the first matchup of the week, we have Virginia playing Louisville, where Louisville is a 7.5 point favorite in this game. And honestly, I haven't watched much of Louisville so far this season, but I have seen Virginia in at least 2 or 3 games, and they were quite impressive against Florida State. So I'm taking Virginia to cover and to win in this one, largely because that 7.5 just seems way off, and I've been impressed with Virginia so far. Next up, the battle of the disappointing 5-star quarterback recruits, DJ Lagway at Florida and Arch Manning at Texas. Obviously, Texas is coming in at 3-1 with that close loss in Week 1 to Ohio State, but since Week 1 they haven't really played anybody of substance, and Florida's lost, obviously, multiple games so far this season. But one of these quarterbacks has to do enough to win, and for some reason I just feel like DJ Lagway has it in him in this home game. So give me the Gators, 20-17. We've got a hell of a lot of maroon in this next one. Mississippi State is visiting Texas A&M, where they're a 14-point favorite. I don't think it's going to be that much of a blowout, although obviously Grok does by 24 points. So I'm taking A&M by just 7. So Mississippi State covers the spread. The Miami Hurricanes are visiting Florida State this weekend, and they're a 4.5 point favorite. This is Miami's first road game of the season. And obviously, Florida State is coming off a disappointing loss at Virginia. This will be my 3rd underdog pick for this week, and this is the one that I'm least confident in. Carson Beck has a lot of experience as a quarterback on the road with Georgia in the past, but for some reason I just like Florida State's mojo this year, so give me the Seminoles. I don't have too much to add to this game right here, but Two things compared to last year. Number one, no one's going to be surprised by Vanderbilt. And number two, Alabama has looked very good since that first week loss to Florida State. So I'm taking Bama big in this one, 34-21. Grok doesn't think it's going to be such a big margin, 28-20. But I think the Crimson Tide will roll. Alright, that's it for this week. You know, after last week's awesome slate of games, this week is a little bit of a letdown. So if you're feeling the same thing, feel free to check out my other videos, especially my meme shorts. These are all college football focused memes from the season so far. And I think you'll really like those. So until next time, see ya.